The Pride Challenge. The dojo was packed that afternoon in Hong Kong. The air was thick with students' sweat, the rhythmic sound of feet gliding across the mat, and the respectful murmur that always accompanied Bruce Lee's classes. He moved with the precision of a feline, demonstrating Jeet Kune Do techniques with a fluidity that seemed to defy the laws of physics. His students, from beginners to experienced fighters, watched his every move as if they were secrets set in stone. Among them, however, a tall man stood out, with broad shoulders and an arrogant expression. It was Chen Wei, a fighter from Sonda known for his brute strength and victories in local competitions. He had arrived at the dojo with a group of friends, all laughing and whispering among themselves. Chen crossed his arms, a smirk on his lips. "Is that all the great Bruce Lee has to teach?" he said loudly, interrupting the demonstration. "It's more like dancing than fighting. Where is the strength? Where is the power?" The dojo fell silent. The students exchanged nervous glances, some lowering their eyes, others waiting for the master's reaction. Bruce Lee stopped, slowly turning to face Chen. His face showed no anger, just a cold calm, like the surface of a lake before a storm. "Strength is not in the muscles, but in the mind," he replied, his voice calm. "And power comes not from size, but from precision." Chen laughed, shaking his head. "Nice words. But I've seen you fight in movies. In the ring, against a real man, you wouldn't last 5 seconds." Chen's friends laughed, poking him as if he had just made the joke of the century. Bruce Lee was unfazed. He took a step forward, eyes fixed on the challenger. "Then prove it." Chen didn't expect this. For a moment, his confidence wavered, but his pride spoke louder. He took off his shirt, showing off his defined muscles, and assumed a fighting stance. 7 seconds, Bruce said, without changing his tone. "If you touch me in 7 seconds, I'll admit I was wrong." Chen snorted. 7 seconds? That's ridiculous. I'll take you down in 3. The dojo held its breath. Bruce Lee assumed his stance, light as a feather, fists loose at his sides. Chen rushed forward with a broad punch, a blow of brute force, destined to end the fight before it even started. But before his knuckles even grazed the air in front of him, Bruce was no longer there. An almost imperceptible movement. A step to the side, a turn of the body, and Chen felt the world spin. In less than a second, he was on the ground, his lungs empty, his vision blurred. Bruce Lee was behind him, his hand resting lightly on his shoulder, as if he had guided him there with a simple touch. 1, Bruce said, as if he were teaching a child to count. Chen tried to get up, but his legs didn't respond. Before he could recover, Bruce had already spun around again, and a precise kick hit him in the side of the knee, causing him to fall to his knees. 2. Chen's friends watched, mouths open. No one dared to move. The fighter tried a desperate punch, but Bruce avoided it with a movement of his head, counterattacking with a quick blow to the solar plexus. Chen gasped, eyes wide. 3. A low kick made him lose his balance. He fell onto his back, and before he could react, Bruce was on top of him, a finger pointed at his chest, without even touching. 4. Chen tried to crawl back, but Bruce followed him with light steps, as if dancing. A blow to the shoulder sent him spinning, another to the hip knocked him sideways. 5. 6. The last second has arrived. Chen, exhausted, raised his arms in a pathetic gesture of defense. Bruce stopped inches away from him, eyes as cold as steel. 7. Silence. Chen stood there on the ground, breathing hard, his pride shattered along with his confidence. Bruce Lee straightened up, calmly adjusting his gi. "The fight is not about who is stronger," he said, looking at the rest of the students. "It's about who is willing to learn. Anyone who thinks they know everything has already lost before they even start." He extended his hand to Chen, who, after a moment's hesitation, accepted it. Bruce helped him to his feet, but didn't say anything else. The dojo remained silent, everyone absorbing the lesson. Chen Wei never mocked a master again. And, that afternoon, the dojo learned that true strength is not in muscles, but in the humility of recognizing that there is always something to learn.